Hello everyone, and my name is Lytle with Mortgage Coach, and today is our Training Thursday. What we're going to do is we're going to cover RateWatch today. I'm going to show you how to be able to access RateWatch on the mobile app, desktop, as well as the online version, which is what you're looking at now. On our Tuesday coaching call, Dave talked about open house flyers and presenting those to realtors, be able to gain new business. Last week we had our topic for our Thursday training was open house flyers and how to create those. So we have, oops, not here, where's my webpage? In our coaching call archive, and you can access this through the help button in Edge. And it has all our calls that are recorded. So we have our Tuesday as well as our Thursday calls. And you'll see right down here for last week, I have a training call that covers the open house flyers. So if you want more information on how to develop and present those open house flyers, go ahead and watch this last week's training call, and that would be able to assist you. So with this, besides going through RateWatch, at the end of the call, we're going to be covering mortgage insurance and being able to present loan options for mortgage insurance. So those are the topics we're going to cover today. And what I want to do is start out with our polls. So Marcy, if you could go ahead and launch our first poll. That would be great. There we go. So I want to know how many people have downloaded the RateWatch mobile app. So if you could go ahead and reply to that if you've downloaded the mobile app for RateWatch. And we could go ahead and see what that percentage is. So we could focus where our training will be. Okay. Oh, great. We got 75% of you so far with the download of the app. Great. We're going to show you quite a few different options within that app, so you can use them with your realtors and items like that. Okay. We have 75% voted. We could go ahead and we could close that. So we have 67 and 33% who have not downloaded that app. So that would be good. You'll be able to learn that today. Marcy, can you go ahead and load up the next poll? Okay, are you sending RateWatch alerts to your with your Edge presentations? And if you're not sure what those are, not a problem. We're going to go through those today on the call. So if you send those alerts out. Okay, that's great. We're at 57%, so let's get a few more votes in there. 62. Okay, a few more people. Go ahead and reply to that, and then we'll close it out. We need to have 75% of the votes. So we're almost there. Okay, let's go ahead and close it out. So that's a great learning piece. We only have 13% of you who have sent those, and that's great. And I'd like to be able to hear your responses on how you send those out. If you don't mind, if you could put it a little bit in the question area, I'd like to be able to provide that feedback to our other members on the call. And Marcy, I believe we have one more poll. There we go. So how many are you sending a total cost analysis to your borrower that compares mortgage insurance options? So I want to be able to see how many of you are doing that. Okay. And this is one of my favorite reports. I love building this report. I'm going to show you monthly mortgage insurance, lender-paid mortgage insurance, and as well as single premium. Okay, so we're at 60%. So if we could go ahead and get a few more of you voted in, and we'll go ahead and close out that poll. So that's great. Currently, we have 82% have not created this type of a loan scenario. So this is a great option because in my experience, I've been in the industry almost 32 years, and 28 years was working at a document service. And with that, okay, yeah, 78% now. And with that, I understood mortgage options, I understood loan products, and I never knew how to compare it. And realizing how much money they could save by having actually single premium. So that's the one we're going to show. So that's what our call will be today. So the first thing I want to do is start out with RateWatch. So if you have your mobile device with you, go ahead and pull it up, and what we're going to do is show you how to download the mobile app as well as review both the desktop and the mobile app so you can get familiar with both of those. So first off, you can see in the upper right-hand corner I have, or left-hand corner, I do have the desktop version. The desktop version will require you to download it onto the desktop, and some companies have an IT restriction. And if that's the case, you would just need to have your IT download that app for you. We also have an online version that I'll show you right afterwards that you can also access just from your website, so you have a similar desktop as well as that mobile app experience. So first off, with the mobile app, let's go ahead and go out to your App Store. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my App Store. And in your search engine, once you get there, put in Mortgage Coach. And what this will do is not only provide you the RateWatch app, it will provide you our viewer as well. So if I type in Mortgage Coach and press search, you can see our two apps. And with those apps, you can see we have the RateWatch for your download as well as our Mortgage Coach viewer of our reports. So if you can, go ahead and download that app. Turn on the AC in here. It's a little hot. Okay, so with that, now let's go back out. And I want to show you, this is the icon for RateWatch right here. So if we go ahead and click on that. And I also want to point out, I neglected to mention, if you have any questions at all, please open up the question area in GoToMeeting and go ahead and type in any type of questions. I'll go ahead and stop and we'll review that question with you. And for those of you who have sent out email alerts or the alerts to your clients, if you can, put it in the question box and let me know how that goes and how you use it. So this is the RateWatch app. You go ahead and enter, it's the same login and password as you use in Edge. So let's go ahead and log in. There we go. So you can see when you come into RateWatch, it's giving you an overview of the rates and through the month. This is our home screen, just as you see on the desktop app here. So I want to point out a couple things. We're on the home page on the desktop as well as on the mobile app version. I'm going to go ahead and click on the upper left-hand corner of my mobile app, those three bars. I am on an iPad. And you'll see how it opens up and provides the different options, just like the desktop and the different tabs you have. So right now we're on the home screen here, and we're able to see how the changes are with those rates. And what I want to do is point out a couple items for the RateWatch. We do provide it in the candlestick format, and if you hover your mouse over that candlestick, you'll be able to find out the high and the low of that day, but it also provides the open and close. So you have the date, open, close, and the high and the low. So with that, when you're looking at a candlestick chart, you see how you have these bars here. What those bars represent is the opening and the close of the day. Then when you have these tails on either side, that represents how during that day that rate had spiked up or went down. So it tells the full range of that day, the movement of that mortgage-backed security. And we do have, if you want more information on the candlestick chart and want to understand it more in depth, we do have some information. You can always email us at support and just ask for information on the candlestick chart. So that's how you have it. Green is a positive day where reds are a negative alert. I also want to point out we are reflecting off the Fannie Mae agency here, but you do have options to view different types of rates within RateWatch as well as different coupons. With that, I also, on the desktop version, you also can go ahead and put in moving averages. So you do have this option on the desktop version. Next, and then at the base, you do have it where you could review a 10-day period, 1 month, 3 month, and a maximum. So I want to point that out as well. And what I have on there, I'm going to clear out all my moving averages, and then we'll just have the chart. So with that, now what I want to do is go in and focus on Day Watch. So Day Watch is just allowing us, and I'm clicking on the tab on the desktop, The day watch is allowing us to see the movements for today. And I can see my line's not here. I have a couple things going on my iPad, so we'll see how that goes. But you'll see over here, you'll see that it opened up today at 1:02, and you can see how the rates have been declining in here, and we did have an alert. What I do want to point out, if you have used another type of service to monitor your mortgage-backed securities, I want to point out that Mortgage Coach uses the opening number when we start our rate watch. A lot of other services uses the number from the close of the previous day. With night trading, a lot of things going on, it's better and more accurate to have the opening figure starting out. So want to explain that if it's a little different than something you have viewed before. We do start with today's opening price. So I want to point out that. I also want to point out the date up in the upper right-hand corner. You can always move around and see the rates at a different point of time. So you'll be able to have that as well. I'm going to be showing you how you'll be able to receive email alerts. So anytime there is a change in rate and it's an alert, I'll show you how you can set it up and receive those email alerts as well. So let's go back in our charts. You'll see on the desktop version we have alerts. Let's go ahead and click on alerts here. And you can see how alert went ahead and went out today. So with that decrease. So they have alert. You can also see that on the mobile app as well. We also have edge views. So with edge views, when you're working with total cost analysis and you're sending out those reports, when you receive those email alerts back as an email form, you also get an alert with your rate watch. And to show you how that works, I have a report that's already opened up on the screen. It's the compliance report that I had. I'm going to go ahead and close it out. And I know this is a bar-facing report because there's no clear all button, and we'll talk to that in a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and close out my report. As soon as I receive that, that's generating that email alert. That's telling the system that the client has viewed your report, closed out, and now it's time to send that email alert. So while we're talking about the mobile app, we'll see how our email alert from that edge view will go ahead and prompt through this rate watch. So we'll see that in a little bit. Also, going back, we have our edge call logs. So our edge call logs is not on this face because on a mobile device you have access to the phone right then and there. Edge call logs, it's just that click-to-call feature that we have on a report. So if you want more information about that, just go ahead and email us at support. Next, I want to point out our commentary section. So with this, we have quite a bit of commentary. You can see you can access it on both devices. I want to point out Neil's information here. You could, he provides us opening, close information like that, as well as economic data. So you have items like that, and let me go ahead and open it up on the iPad. You can see how you have the information here as well. So with this, if there's any information within here that you want to be able to use, you could go ahead and use this information. Just go ahead and quote the source. And if you're not sure how to do that, again, you can email us at Mortgage Coach and we'll be able to help you. I also want to point out Dan Rawich. Dan provides us a video commentary daily, as well as a little bit of language of information about what the day is happening. You can always, when you view that RateWatch commentary, you'd be able to go ahead and, whoops, just for a moment, I gotta go ahead and shut Dan down. So you can see with Dan's alerts, he will go ahead and he actually goes into detail about the rates and the adjustments. And you can see how he's talking about repositioning in those lines in the troughs. So not only do we have today's, we have all the past calls too, as well as additional talking points from Bill Fisher. So you'll be able to have access there. And then also, if you're using it online, you can always bookmark that link for the recording and just access it through that. So let's go ahead and log out of here. No. Okay, there we go. So we'll bring back up RateWatch. Okay, let's bring over the mobile app. So you have a lot of bit of information in this area. So now let's go ahead and you do have lenders. You can see how this is slightly different on the mobile app. Lenders, what we have is just information on how rates are moving. How many are having better rates versus increasing those rates. So you'll be able to just see as an industry as a whole how those rates are being moved. And now what I want to do is go to your settings, and let's work on being able to provide that information to you, the email alerts. And then once we're done with this, I'm going to show you how you'll be able to take that data and be able to share it with your clients. So on the mobile app, you'll see that there's just a settings, and that's what I went ahead and chose. On the desktop version, you can see this little grommet here. It says settings. You click on that, and you'll see how a sidebar will open up. And this will follow the same flow. You'll have the section here with the email SMS alerts, same option. Update scheduler, right there. And then you have your help button. So let's go ahead and dive into the email and SMS alerts. That's this section right here. So you'll see on the iPad app that you'll have the little arrows right here. So you can set everything up through the mobile device as well. So if we go ahead and click on that, you can see that I have my mobile notifications, commentary emails I haven't done, or repricing alerts. But these are all the items that you'd be able to identify and also be able to provide your cell phone if you want those alerts sent as a text. So you'll be able to send the repricing commentaries as well as those email notifications. Then if you check Update Scheduler, let's go ahead and do that. This will allow you to determine what time of day you receive the alerts on the rates, on the mortgage-backed securities. So if you want to be able to receive it at start and close, you can identify that. If you want it every hour, you'll be able to do that as well. So just identify it. And then once you have done that, just make sure you press Submit here, and it will go ahead and submit that information to Mortgage Coach, and you'll start receiving those alerts. Okay. So now I want to go back to our RateWatch. And you'll see we have on the desktop version, you'll be able to right-click, and you can copy how the movements of the rates have gone. On the mobile app, you also have that share button right in the upper right-hand corner. And you'll be able to share that information, either email, SMS. You can also post it to Facebook if you want to, if you have a web page for your business. Be able to post them to that, as well as a clipboard. So there's a lot of ways you'll be able to share your information and share your knowledge and to show that you're on top of that industry. So you have that information. I also want to point out on the home screen, you have that same option. You have the share button on the mobile app to be able to share the information, be able to show a month as a whole. And again, on the desktop, you could go ahead and do a copy as well as a print. So with that, that is a RateWatch. If there's any questions before I move on, please put them in the question area, and we'll be able to review it. And if you have questions, I'm sure other people have those same questions. So with that, that is RateWatch, and I want to just point out one other item, one other place to access RateWatch, besides the desktop version as well as the mobile device. Let's bring back a couple items. On our webpage, the Mortgage Coach webpage, let me just go to that. This is just an easy place if for some reason you forget the login for Edge or RateWatch or any of that items. It's just a quick way to access it. So on mortgagecoach.com, if you go to Solutions, right at the base here is the RateWatch login. So you can see how you could just also access this on any web page. So and you'll see it's basically looks the same reflection as that desktop version. So again, you always have access to RateWatch anywhere on your mobile device as well as your desktop or online. So there's 3 ways to be able to find out how those mortgage-backed securities are moving on a daily basis. So with that, we're done with RateWatch. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and place it in the question area and we'll go ahead and address it. So what we're going to do today is focus on MI comparison. Let's go ahead and bring up that report. I have already went through and have a report generated showing a monthly MI as well as lender paid MI. So you can see in the payment stream that we're showing mortgage insurance, and then on that lender paid, it's just a straight fixed rate loan. In the More Info button, that's where you'll be able to highlight that information for the borrower. Let's go ahead and close that out and clear out some highlights. Click on that More Info, and you can see how you could show that one has mortgage insurance and one doesn't. And what I'm doing to highlight is just by taking my mouse over that field, left clicking, and that highlights and removes the highlight. So when you're sending a presentation to your client, prior to sending it, say you had a comparison for mortgage insurance, you would want to go in here and identify what that difference is, so then the borrower would be able to see it really easily. Closing costs, or you have your closing costs. I'm going to show lender paid single premium. And that will be able to have a label right here and show a different amount. So there's a lot of different areas that we'll be able to talk about. And the best part is working with that reinvestment strategy. And that's what we're going to focus on at the end. And what we're going to do is make equal payments. So we're going to reinvest that savings of $85 to make this equal payments. We're also going to show you how to reinvest that mortgage insurance once it's dropped from the loan. In just one moment, I have a question. Okay, Dave. Dave has a question. He recently got Android. He's having a problem saying invalid ID password. Email us at support. Have you gotten logged into Edge at all? What we could easily do is just reset that password. So if you just email us at support@mortgagecoach.com, you could do it now, and they could go ahead and reset that for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into Edge, and let's show you how to compare loan options for mortgage insurance. I also want to point out, if there's any people who are from Prime Lending or have access to the integration for Optimal Blue, Away, or any kind of APIs, you can always carry down the one loan option with mortgage insurance, and then when you get into Edge, you could develop the other two products, and that's also how I'll go through the training process as well. So first off, you want to go ahead and log into your Edge account, and I'm going to go ahead and open up my MI comparison file. Because the last place I was at was in my presentation preview screen, that's where, when I clicked on it, that's where the report opened up. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Client, and let's go ahead and review what I've input, and then add that single premium product, and then we'll work on the reinvestment and making all the payments level. So with this, I made this as a marketing piece, and it's a great way to be able to show borrowers how you'd be able to fit them in the correct loan. So I just did MI comparison, and I have it marked as marketing. You can also leave it as individual. That's fine. All it does, these two buttons, is just remove the information about the co-borrower and the borrower's name. So you see there's not that much information in here. I have my label. I put my link in here just because it's a quick reference for me to find that particular report. I'm keeping it as own, so I have a TCA. Rent versus own provides a different rent versus own report. Now, Ron has a question back on RateWatch, and he's wondering if there is a known problem on sending a snapshot of the daily bond quote from an iMac. There should not be an issue with that, but we do have Macs here, so if you want to email us, we could do some kind of testing. We can make sure, but our whole office is pretty much Macs, and we're able to do all that. So just email us, and we can assist you so you'll be able to use that, Ron. Okay. Back to our screen, so you can see all I did was put in a title. I'm showing you how quick and the minimal amount of data you need. I'm advancing my screen to our goals, have it marked purchase. Moving on, I have my purchase price in here. So my purchase price is $350. And then with that, I'm going to keep moving on. And the next few screens, there's nothing I really need to key in. I can fill this in if I was doing a borrower and I wanted to see the debt to income ratio, wanted to see what that cash to close if they have enough money to qualify, as well as a tax benefit. This particular case, I'm focusing on mortgage insurance, so I'm just leaving this empty. Same with the next screen of affordability, it's just data collection. So now I'm at my products here. So with that, again, if you're with an API, you always want to bring down that first loan with monthly mortgage insurance. Going through it, I have it not marked as a refi, and it's just filling out the information. You have your purchase price. I'm putting 10% down. My rate on this particular case, I have 4.5. I know it's a little bit high for today's rate. I made this one in last fall, as well as the term. So just minimal information here. Advancing my screen, I put in 15 days prepaid interest. I went ahead and grabbed my closing costs and my fees. It populated down. Also, if you're listening to last week's call, I did focus on creating fee templates and a little bit more detail on that. So if you're looking at the open house flyer, you'll also get some information on fee templates. Next is your monthly costs. So I have in here, I went ahead and put in my hazard at 0.35, my taxes 1.25. I want this in here because then I could go ahead and show them my true monthly amount here. Catherine, I think you're looking for a call on the NES. If you are, just email support. They'll be able to help you get to that call. This is Training Thursday. We're just reviewing EDGE, and we reviewed RateWatch earlier. So we have all our monthly costs here, 12 months premium as well as 2 months reserve and 4 months hazard and 2 months taxes. So I have that all set up. To set up my next product, I press the green button that was here, add a new product. And now I'm just adding my lender paid MI. And you can see that what I did, and you'll see it with my lender paid single premium that we're going to develop. It's really quick to create this second product just by using that copy from button. You can copy an existing product you already created, and it will carry all of it over, the fees, the monthly costs, and then all you have to do is just do modify any information. So that's what I did here, and I increased my interest rate. You can see, still have 10% down. Same fees that copied over, so I don't have to touch this unless for some reason you did have adjustments on your fees. And I removed my monthly mortgage insurance. So there's no more mortgage insurance, so I removed that off the report, but you can see how we have our monthly costs and reserves. So now what I want to do is show you that process I just described by adding single premium. So you'll see at the very bottom right, add another product. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that green button. And let's put for the title, I'm just putting single premium. And you'll notice our drop down, well, first, before we start, let's get our data. So click on the copy from button. And you can choose either one. I'm just going to go ahead and choose my monthly MI product. I'm going to press OK. With that, there is one new item I want to point out. We do have a drop down, whoops, that's for my products, upfront premium. There's a drop down. And you'll see there's an option for single premium. I'm selecting that. And you'll see when we go into our fee screen, we now have that single premium field. This is the upfront MI for FHA loans, VA loans. It's the funding fee. So we have single premium here, and then you could go ahead and enter what that percentage is. If you have a different number and you want me to show that number, go ahead and put it. I have it at 1%. Okay, and you'll see how much money. I'm not going to add it to the loan amount. I'm going to keep it as cash or close so we could focus on the same loan amount for each product. So with that, just to go back one screen, all I did was use copy from my monthly MI, which then keeps me at the same interest rate. My upfront premium, I chose single. Advance my screen. Because of that copy, I copied all my fees carried over. I added my single premium. Now when I get to the monthly cost, let's remove that mortgage insurance. So I'm going to press that % sign and remove that percentage. And now the monthly mortgage insurance has been removed. So now as we advance the screen, you'll see that the graph in the upper left or upper right hand corner is going to adjust because we removed the monthly mortgage insurance. And that's what these arrows will do. Besides advancing the screen, it stores the data. So as soon as I advance the screen, that number is going to update, removing that mortgage insurance. So you can see how that number updated. Okay. So now let's go ahead and take a look at our report. Before we jump into the reinvestment, let's see what we've created. And you can see now that we have all three loan options side by side. With that, you can, as I said, before you send the report, you can highlight certain areas. So you can always highlight the interest rate to show the difference with that lender paid MI, why the interest rate is higher. You can also show the reflection of the payment. And again, just hover your mouse over the field, you'll see the cell outline, and then just left click. Just to be able to show the options, you can see how the payment stream here is showing mortgage insurance. We discussed that at the beginning. Lender paid has none, as well as that single premium. So you can confirm that you've created everything correctly and modified it. Over on the right-hand side, you have your monthly payment savings. There's no graph on that monthly MI because that's the highest cost loan. That's the highest payment. The lender paid MI with the higher interest rate is saving $85 a month over that monthly MI. And then my single premium with that same low rate with no mortgage insurance, I'm saving $228 so over that loan. So there's a lot of different options you would be able to talk to the borrower about. Also, if you notice, if I click on the graph highlights. Now I want to discuss the short term because this is an interesting one because we are focused on mortgage insurance. So you can see the highest cost loan is that monthly MI. We're saving at the 5-year period, we're saving $1,879 and $1,053. That's a lot amount for that mortgage insurance. So if you click on more info, let's describe what this short-term savings is. So this is your unrecoverable costs. So we're doing a comparison on the unrecoverable costs of your loan. So with that, I have interest in MI, so that you can see how much has been accrued over that time period of 60 months. I have a low amount of fees here, but it does add the fees to that amount. That's what we get with our total cost, and that's what we do our comparison against. So the comparison is really reflecting that interest in MI that's been paid on those loans. Okay. Ron has a question. Could you show how you could go about making your base comparison? Can you explain that a little bit more, what you would like me to show you, and I'd be able to do that? I'm not quite sure about base comparison, so if you could let me know. Okay. And then also in the long term, you have that interest in MI paid for 15 years. Again, click on that more info. There's a lot of details in here. You have your home value if you use the appreciation field. Loan balance. This is great to be able to see how much they owe still at the end of 15. And remember that 15 is variable, and we'll be showing you how you can work changing that number. And then you got your total principal and total pity amounts you've been paying over that time, as well as total interest in MI. So now with the report, let me go ahead and clear out my highlights. So what we want to do now is go back and focus on making everything as a single premium. While we're doing this, I really want to explain Edge Live and show the different functions. So we're going to work with the reinvestment strategy screen as well as Edge Live. So what I'm doing is generating the link of the report. Let's go ahead and copy it. And I'm placing it in our chat area. If you want to experience Edge Live, how your client's going to experience it, click on that link, and you're going to watch how the changes are being made on the report. If I go back up, I'm going to clear out my highlights. Lower left-hand corner, you can see how there's 0 viewers on. So let me go ahead and open a new tab. I'm pasting in my link to my report, just as a borrower would do when they click on the link from your email. They press I understand. If you had a video, it will go ahead and start playing. So that's how you'd be able to, the borrower would receive the report. So I'm going to unhinge that from my page, and let's go ahead and do a side-by-side so you can see Edge Live real quick. So with Edge Live, if you notice at the very bottom of my report, on the left-hand side, that is my working copy. It has a clear all button. I can clear, make highlights, and I can clear it. I have the control to do that. And if you notice on the right-hand side, there's no clear all button, and we can't, the borrower won't be able to highlight anything. Also, you'll see on the left-hand side, next to the disclosure button, there's one viewer. I'm the viewer. I'm viewing the report. If anyone clicks on that link in the chat box, this number is going to increase. It's going to tell me how many people are looking at the report with me. So right now, it's just me. And let's go into Edge Live and start making our changes and make everything as level payments. So I'm opening up my report, and let's go into Edge. And what you want to do is go into the analysis screen. And in the analysis screen, this is where you can modify the short-term and the long-term area. So if you're talking to the client and they plan to move in 4 years, put in 48 months instead. You can change this area. You could show the interest in MI in that lower left-hand corner for the life of the loan. You also can show it if the borrower is telling you that they plan to be there 4 to 10 years. You can make that snapshot in time showing 4 years, but the long area showing how much they save in the 10-year mark. So that's how you'd be able to adjust those areas on the report. Let's place it back to 60 and 15. And now what I want to do is click on the reinvestment strategy button. And with that, this matrix will come up, and this is where we're going to reinvest mortgage insurance as well as providing the savings. So first off, to be able to show you, at the very top it shows the monthly savings. So let's reinvest that amount toward principal to make our payments even. So I'm putting in $85, 228.38. And you can see below that figure that I went ahead, or you can see the freedom points recalculated. By adding that additional amount toward principal, that you now have the loan being paid off sooner. So let's take a look at how this looks on the report. So I'm going to go ahead and press OK. And then I'm going to advance my screen, and that's triggering the save. So right now you can see on the report, it just popped up, the reinvestment reduction payment. You can see the $85 savings that I have over here and the $228 that I have on the single premium. Now if you click on the More Info button, you can see that matrix, information on the matrix as well. And I do suggest when you send the report out, highlight the reduction payment field as well as those dollar amounts and the freedom point. So this way when the client is reviewing the report, they'll be able to see items that you have completed. So you have those items there, the reinvestment strategy. You can see how it even bumped up more of that savings toward that single premium product. So now what happens on that monthly product when the mortgage insurance drops from the loan? You know, now they have that additional monthly cost that they can apply to principal as well. So when you move back to Edge, let's go back to our analysis screen and our reinvestment strategy. So in here, this works the same way as if you have a lump sum payment. Both processes work the same. What you would do is double click on that field. When you double click, you'll have one more matrix that carries that will display. And right at the base, right above the buttons, you'll see MI cutoff month 87, and the last amount of the mortgage insurance that was applied was $228. So on the 87th month, they no longer have mortgage insurance, and we're going to reinvest that money. So you'll see here, I'm going to replace that month number 1 with 87. Then I'm going to go ahead and place in that dollar amount of the mortgage insurance. And what this is telling the system to do is at month 87, go ahead and apply $228 to the principal, and then keep it that way for the remainder of the loan. If I was doing a lump sum payment, all I would do is add a line and then identify what month it is. So say at the end of 12 months, let's go ahead and click on that. Possibly their household, they have money they want to apply to the loan. You can put in that amount of money at this point. So you can see at month 12, they're applying $100,000 to the principal. But you always need to, if you do lump sum payments, always remember to zero it out, because otherwise it's going to apply $100,000 every month. So I put in 13 and put a 0, and then you'll see how it will apply at month 12, $100,000. Month 13, it zeroes it out, so it will no longer apply that monthly. And then when it gets to month 87, it's going to go ahead and apply that mortgage insurance. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these items because I don't want to be able to show you. I just want to show you how to do those lump sums. So we have 87. We reinvested our MI, and I'm pressing OK. And then now you can also see how the freedom points adjusted here. So let's take a look at the report now that we have that adjusted. Oops, let's advance the screen so it updates that information. Look at our report. And now you'll see that it has the word custom here. But when you go into the more info button and you're in that reinvestment matrix, you'll see now that the custom, there's a button there, and it'll have that information, and you'll be able to tell them at month 87 you're reinvesting that mortgage insurance toward principal. So that's how you'll be able to show them that, and you'll notice it was at month 87. In the short-term area, we are showing 60. So let's take a look at it at month 120. So that's 10 years. It's had a few months of applying principal, that mortgage insurance toward principal. So what I'm doing is going to Edge, and let's change the short-term area to reflect 120. Advance the screen, and now let's take a look at our report. Look at the lower left-hand corner. You'll notice that it just changed, and that lender paid MI is now the highest cost loan. That a lot of times people don't realize the power of that interest rate. Borrowers don't. How much more in the long run they'll end up paying, thinking they're getting out of mortgage insurance, but and depending on how long they're going to stay in the house, is really the option they should go with. So you can see at 120, it's just starting to eke out, and really the lender paid MI is not the way to go. So if you click on the more info, you can see the interest in MI compared to those two products, and as well as that lender paid MI. You could tell at the end of the loan, no more mortgage insurance being applied, and that will be all interest. So with what I had just done, that is what you could do with Edge Live. Let me go ahead and bring this side by side. So with it, you can always start out providing only the two options, monthly MI, lender paid MI, and have that single premium handy. And I got to this screen by hovering my mouse over presentation and choosing select report. So once I have done that, take note on the right hand side, that single premium product, Whoops. Let's go back to my report, my copy, and then it's highlighted. So let's go back to Edge. I've unmarked that single premium, and you'll see that shortly that product's been removed. So now as you start talking to the borrower about their loan products, if you want to be able to then add a product because you want to be able to show them, it's really simple. You have them on the phone, they have the report up, you come into Edge, you add that single premium product, advance the screen to make that save, and then the borrower's copy will also then have that single premium product added to it. So you're able to add, subtract loan products as well as modifying data. So you can see how I'm modifying the reinvestment. You can modify the down payment, fees, everything while you're on the phone with the borrower holding that conversation. Okay. Also with that, just to bring up the mobile device, if you have the Mortgage Coach, whoa, it's quite big. Okay, just one moment. There we go. So now we'll show the app for the mobile app for Edge. So I'm going to go ahead and go out of RateWatch, and you'll see that I have my Mortgage Coach app right here. And again, if you just go to App Store and download it, search for Mortgage Coach. And then what I want to show you is a quick way of finding that link to your report. At the very bottom right, you have a share button. With that share button is the link. You can always do a quick copy. If you have a question on your report and you're emailing us at support, quick way of sending that link so we can view your report. But I want to be able to pull this up so I can show you how to key in that information on your iPad. You can always have the email as a link and click on it that way. But if you don't have the link and you already have something up, all I'm doing is just typing in that number, really quick and simple, QE8Q. And then I'm going to go ahead and press that arrow right here, and it's going to go ahead and open up that report. Okay, let's go ahead and press I understand and stop my video. So with that, you can see how it's a little bit different style. Great way of being able to provide that information to the borrower. But I want to be able to show you how it can be driven. You have your summary section. Upper left-hand corner is also your summary section. So if I wanted to talk about the loan amount, and I highlighted that loan amount, what will happen is you'll see that it's been highlighted on the desktop, and it drives my report to open up. So you'll be able to highlight different areas on the report, and we'll go ahead and highlight for you. You can also clear out all those highlights by just clearing on your copy. Click on Clear All. You'll notice it cleared out all the highlights on my copy as well as the borrower's copy. And if I click on my summary, you can see how it's cleared out all my highlights here as well. On my copy on the left-hand side, lower left, I have two viewers. That's telling me it's my mobile app as well as the link I have open on my desktop. So if you wanted to discuss with the borrower reinvestment strategy, I clicked on the More Info button. You can see the desktop move for me as well as my iPad. Now let's go to the Reinvestment Strategy tab. It's moved it on the desktop as well as the mobile app. I want to open up my custom information to talk about the reduction of payment, and that will open up as well. But you also have the highlights, and you can see how it's highlighting as well as on the app. So you can drive the presentation wherever you're at, whatever the borrower may have, a mobile device or a desktop. And that's Edge, and that's Edge Live, and that's really, to learn it, it's best to send the link to someone in your office, discuss the report with them, do the highlighting, open up the different areas, and drive the presentation for them, and also talk about it and get comfortable with it. Send it to a friend, family member, anything like that, and just learn how to use Edge, because once you have this down, this is really, it'll just make the whole process very simple for you. And what I find out is a lot of people are creating the reports, but they don't realize Edge Live will help drive that information, help explain it to the borrower in an easy fashion. So get in there, use Edge Live. It's a great tool to be able to have. So going to our Edge account, I'm going to now go ahead and click on Home. And Ron, I'm not quite sure of your question, so I'll probably loop back around after the call with that. I want to point out just a couple other items in here that you'll be able to do. If I had a marketing piece like MI comparison, I placed a video on that. Maybe I want to place a different one or modify it slightly. You do not have to recreate the report over from scratch. You can do a copy. This copy also works really great with the open house flyers, because then you're not downloading, or you have the contact information of your realtor, items like that, and you don't want to have to key those in every time. So if you click on the View All button, this will provide you information to do a search. So I could put MI comparison in here. I could have it placed as marketing, but I'm just going to show you everything that will pop up. So if I hit search, it's going through all my reports and displaying all my reports. You can also then further your search while you're in here. So if I want to look for my FHA files, I have a lot of Smith files, I bet. You know, you could do your search this way. Also want to point out, next to each file, there's a gray area on the very left-hand side. And then you'll see your Edge reports. So say I wanted to copy one. This is the one I was accessing today. If I wanted to copy it, I would highlight it, and you'll see on the right-hand side there's a copy analysis. If I click on copy analysis, you could copy it into the current client, which will add another report under this MI comparison. Or if you wanted just to change it up and go into a new client, you could have that option as well. All the data will copy, but your video will not. You'll have to place a new video on there. So that's a quick way to add or copy a report. If you have a borrower, possibly you want to just add another analysis, you're doing a second loan, you could just click on that and it takes her contact information over. Again, with the open house flyers, that's great to be able to just add. So if I press close here and just show you how the partner section looks in the view all, you'll see that with Liz files, I've done a few of hers, you can see all the different files. Maybe I'm working with Liz, I have a new property, I just want to add analysis. It brings over all her contact information, all her data here, her logo, her image, more partner realtor information, but you'll see how all the property information, all that data has been cleared out for you, and you start fresh even with your products. So that's how you can easily copy or add analysis to a realtor, to a partner section. I also want to now go into our first, I want to point out our report tracking tab. This will help you see who's viewed your report. You can see under the number of views how many times my report has been viewed. If I click on that report, it will go ahead and open the report. Or if I go to View All, it provides a little bit more details as well. So you can see with my MI comparison, here's a good one right here. If you see it, you can see all the different times it has been viewed and how long the report's been open. This is the information you can find when you send your reports out to a borrower, or if it's a marketing piece, you can just see how long people are viewing it. I got a 3-second one here, as well as the different date. So you'll be able to easily see that information here. And lastly, just want to touch base on our settings. A couple items I want to point out. Anytime you make any kind of changes in your contact information, lower right-hand corner, press Save. Also want to point out your MLS license number. Make sure you have an identifier in front of that number. Reason for it is on the report, it does display, and it will display whatever is in this field. So if it's just a number, the bar won't know if it's MLS or not. Make sure that's there. Make sure you upload your image. We're seeing reports with no image uploaded. It's a great way to introduce yourself. Just browse, upload your image and your logo if it's not already there. Touch a little bit about report templates here. If you're on an enterprise account, it might be grayed out like mine is here, and that means that the corporate office has placed that information and locked it down. If you're an individual user, you can modify your disclosure text, and let me show you on the report where this displays. Lower left-hand corner is the blue disclosure button. If you click on that, you will be able to see that information. And this is what the borrower has to click on before they enter the report. I know with the August 1st changes are coming, there's a language sentence that needs to be placed here about saying that the fees and everything is an estimate, and please request a loan estimate. We will be preparing a video tutorial how to apply that to your report. That should be out next month, but that's not something that will be implemented to roughly August at that point in time. Wanted to point out to be able to modify that, it's really easy just to add your text there. And then if you have any questions at all, click on the help button, and that takes you to our knowledge base. In our knowledge base, we have not only video tutorials, we have ways for you to access our past coaching and webinar calls. We also have scripting within here. So if you're not quite sure what to send out on an email, we have scripts that will be able to assist you with that, at least start you off with that email. So the very top is just quick reference. This is where you can find our coaching call archive. So if you click on that, you get all our past calls as that we have here. If you haven't been on our Tuesday calls, you can go ahead and sign up. And if you have anyone else in your office who wants to attend Thursdays, they could sign up in that area. So let's go back to our home and our knowledge base. We also have a month calendar events. If you want to expand your knowledge on Mortgage Coach Edge, we have a Mortgage Coach University. It's the first 3 weeks of the month, Monday through Friday. 8 a.m. is our 101 courses. 2 p.m. is our 102 intermediate classes. We go through all different ranges of topics during this call, and it will really jump your edge knowledge up. So encourage you to sign up for those through those links here. And this provides you information on our future coaching calls right above here. Scripting. Scripting is on the left-hand side in that recommended playlists and scripts. If you go to the MC script, it provides you a PDF. And then with this, it provides you how you can position yourself with the realtors, provides you some information on that end. It also provides email templates. It's just really easy to copy and paste this and then go ahead and modify it in your email. Here's some more scripting for your realtors, some more information here. And then toward the bottom, we provide you items to be able to talk about. So we have questions, core questions, additional questions, and then also a review checklist for your video. So items that, did you mention these items when you placed that video? And then analyzing it. So the energy, that type of information. So this is a great way to be able to guide you through sending your email as well as recording that video. Then with our knowledge base, besides the difference how to create the full reports of the total cost analysis for a purchase, we have the open house flyer, we also have a search engine. So especially on the weekend or in the evenings when you're working, you can't access our support, go ahead and just put in, like I'm going to put in the word live for Edge Live. And you'll see how to use Edge Live here. So if you clicked on that, we have 2 ways of viewing it, through a YouTube link as well as a direct download. So have that search engine, you'll be able to search any type of information that you have. And we have so many video tutorials and so many quick tips. You know, they're really small, short, quick video tutorials to assist you throughout your Edge learning. So with that, we're at the top of the hour. Thank you very much for attending the Thursday training call. If there's a specific topic report you want to see created, please let us know, and we'll go ahead and create that on our future trainings. So any questions at all, email us at support@mortgagecoach.com, and we will promptly assist you. And thanks again for attending the call, and enjoy your day, everyone.